Hey, what's up? We're back once again. It's my DJ's Radio Spotlight Show. As always, we do this every Monday and Thursday, and this is where we get to showcase some local talent that you guys maybe are not aware of, but you need to know about. Tonight, I have J1 Speed in the studio with me. I appreciate you coming through, man.
Thank you, my man.
So, yeah, dude, we've been talking a lot, and we have so much to get into. But first and foremost, right off the top, let's talk about your new release, Full Throttle Part 1. I like how the 1 is right on there, so you know that there's sequels coming.
Yeah.
So how's that working?
I mean, Full Throttle, like it's like the meaning behind it. You know what I mean? It's just going all in for what you believe in. You know, like I believe myself that all real innovators and entrepreneurs, you know, they had to lace their boots tight. You know what I mean? They had to put on their seatbelt and go all in for what they believed in, or they wouldn't be where they're at today. You know, I mean, it's just real talk. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm doing. You know, year to date. You know, one through Full Throttle for a million years, really. But you know, right now it's 1 through 4. You know what I mean?
Right. Oh, yeah, man. I mean, it sounds like you've got plenty in the lab, up your sleeve, lots in your arsenal ready to go. So you have the action plan laid out. You're going to do, you know, part 1, then like kind of hold them over in between with some singles, drop, you know, little teasers here and there. Mm-hmm. Then comes 2 and so forth.
Yeah.
So very good. So yeah, we were talking about your name, J1 Speed. I thought that related to the title Full Throttle, that one speed you have is like full speed ahead.
Yeah.
But in fact, Speed is your last name.
Yeah. You know, that's like one of them things like in physical education. You know, when you go to PE class and your teacher's like, "Oh, Speed, are you fast?" Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah,
It's like you better be.
You know what I mean? And I was like, I'm lazy. Like.
That's cool, man. All right, so this one you've got 11 tracks on here. The title track is Full Throttle.
Yeah.
That's the single basically off the.
It's a few singles off of there, but that's the first song on the CD. You know what I mean? It's Full Throttle, man. You know what I mean?
Cool.
Featuring JP and DOG, man.
Yeah, and DOG, you were telling me he's like an R&B singer, sings on the hooks and stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean he does hooks. I mean he makes beats as well, you know, and I mean he writes a lot of his own material. You know, we bounce back and forth.
Yeah,
but
tell him about the team, MTG, Money Train Gang, and how you have the production team. You've got your beat makers, you've got your singers, you've got your MCs, and all of that, and you founded this.
Yeah. Money Train Gang, I kicked it off back in about 2010, you know, originally, but I really didn't push and like brand it as my company until 2012 when I moved back to Arizona, you know what I mean? And I branded it as my company, you know, went through my little paperwork and the whole 9, and then I started running with it. You know, I put out the MTG mixtape that's on datpiff.com. Before that, prior to that, when I started another company called Third Letter Entertainment before that, you know what I mean? And I had Catch Me If You Can Volume 1 was on there, and that's where Action Packed.
Yeah, like Action Packed.
Yeah, you know, that was all with Third Letter Entertainment, but I didn't end up releasing Action Packed. That was like, I was waiting to release it, but I didn't feel like my fan base was ready, you know what I mean? Which, I mean, I don't think they're ready for what I'm doing right now, but at the same time, you know what I mean, you catch up.
Yeah, well, you know, you keep them guessing, because just when I thought I had you figured out, you know, like you'd switch it up and give me something else, so you got a diversity of styles going on, everything. That's real cool. So you mentioned Arizona, and you also have lived in Louisiana for a time, right?
Yes.
And that comes across in your tracks. I noticed you got the bit of a southern drawl that's kind of present in your accent. You don't sound like a typical Oceanside cat. How long were you out there?
I moved to Louisiana when I was 13. I only lived out there for a couple years then, like from 13 to right before I turned 15. And I moved back to Oceanside, and then, you know, I started bouncing back and forth after that. Lived back out there for like 6 years straight, from like 16 to 18.
Yes, that's a big part of you, man. Those are formative years, you know.
Yeah, and then, you know, we went from there.
Very good. So you started Money Train Gang.
Yeah.
And then you got Trendsetter as well.
That's it's not my company. I'm a part of it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's, and Westbound Records.
And Westbound Records. You said Trendsetter was responsible for the production on just one of the tracks on Full Throttle, right?
Well, I got that track actually through YS and JP of Trendsetter.
Okay. Okay, very good. Man, that's a lot to juggle though. You said you got 3 companies on your back, you know. Like,
yeah, I mean, you know, I kicked it off, you know, when I first started messing with Trendsetter and Westbound. I was just coming in, you know, doing my own projects, you know what I mean? But it was like me and my engineer, me and JP, you know, we collaborated so hard, you know what I mean? And we went in about it, and it was like it just meshed, you know what I mean? It's like I always look for, every city I go to, you know, I go from studio to studio, you know, and I go to engineer to see who works to my standards, who does what I want them to do, you know,
right.
how I like it done, you know what I mean? And it was like, it was a no-brainer with me and dude, you know what I mean? Like, we clicked musically, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, hard. So it was like, you know, as time went on and he had went, you know, he had to do his thing for a minute. And, you know, I was still repping out, so I pushed out Count Your Blessings.
Right.
And I pushed out the Count Your Blessings video. You know,
yeah,
that was actually a video. I was a part of their video, but
right.
it ended up going on my project, you know, and as you can see at the end of the video, it has the free JP, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, you know, I kept pushing it, you know what I mean? I kept pushing it, and when he came out, I approached him, and I was like, man, like, you know, like, you see what I'm about to do, you know, and how I'm trying to push it. I was like, what do you think about me throwing them all on my back, you know what I mean, and running with them all as a whole, you know, and he, like, you know, he dug the idea, like, damn, you know, really didn't expect for me to want to do that, because it's not like I need anything from anybody, you know what I mean, it's like I'm paying for my own product, I do everything myself, you know what I mean, it's nobody's hands in my pocket, nobody's helped me do anything,
right.
You know, it's built from the ground up, so it's like I don't need you. It was like it was that mutual respect. Like if you engineered every track that we're doing, not just engineering it, but I mean, like I come to you with a game plan, you know, and I'm like, boom, like, okay, like, man, I got this sound in my head. I want to do this, like, you feel me? I want the track to go like this, you know, and you know, on this part, I want it to go like this and like that, you know. But he's already like feeling me. Like I said, I don't have to really tell him too much. You feel me? He's already pushing the buttons. Like, yeah, boom. I went in there and I laid it. He come out, he's like, you want that to stutter like that, right? I'm like, yeah, like for sure. You already know. So it's like we're vibing and we're getting them done. You know, we're knocking them down. You know, at a rapid pace. You
right.
Know?
Right. Yeah, man. So yeah, you mentioned like a stutter and stuff. Like I hear a lot of like hi-hats and stuff that roll and things, like lots of like little trappy sounds and things on some of your beats.
As far as the beats, like when I bring the beats in the studio, that's already a done deal. That's Money Train Gang.
Okay. So what's the workflow like? Where like how does a track sort of begin, and you know how do you direct things when you're MTG and you got your beat making team or whatever, and you have a concept for a track? Like what's sort of the flow of it? What's the
They all come out different. They all start off different. Like some tracks, like say if we create with the beat first. You know, most beats start in my studio. It start in my home studio. You know what I mean? Like, because I have an office at my house. You know, and
so do you mess with production yourself at all? Like,
that's what I'm saying, bro.
Okay.
Like if it's not me starting the beat, then say Dale G started the beat or. Coleon Shorty started the beat, whatever. If one of us kick it off, you know what I mean, if he might finish it, but those that he doesn't finish, say he's like, boom, he gets, you know, kind of wore out about it, you know? So if he dumps it over there, and then I'll say Dale comes in, he got a fresh mind, and I'm like, boom, like, hey, what you think?
Polish it up.
I'm like, what you think about that? And he like, yo, that's sauce. Like, let me get that right quick. Let me play with it right quick. So boom, he'll jump on there. Boom. Now he done added his twerk to it. You feel me? Boom. Now that's how you come up with monsters, you know what I mean? It's like you get 3 different points of view on one track.
And everybody's got like their specialty and stuff, and a little spice that they
you know, because Coleon Shorty's from Atlanta. You know what I mean? Dale G's from Phoenix. I'm from Oceanside. T.Y. is from Memphis, Tennessee. You know, so it's like you get in, it's like a pot of gumbo, you know?
Right.
As well as, you know,
because that's how creative stuff goes a lot of times. Like you'll you'll have a concept and it'll all just be flowing up to about 90%, and then you're just like burnt out on it, and you're like, I don't even know, like, and then somebody else might be able to kind of put the finishing touches on it.
He might add the melodies, like that's a lot of things. That's like me and DOG, we collaborate a lot like that. Like he'll do the melodies and I'll do the drums, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Vice versa. Some tracks I come in and knock them out myself. You know, like the whole thing. Like,
Well, you mentioned engineering too, and that's a whole other matter. Like truly producing is not just beat making, obviously.
Yeah.
And so when you come up with the final track, you know, as far as how the sound levels are balanced and like how the vocals are compressed and so forth, like the clarity with which your vocals come across, I noticed on the track, is really exceptional. Like you can hear every word super clearly, and that's really important, obviously, when you're talking about
JP.
Shout out JP. Good
Color
work.
Line Media, man. You know, when you're in Phoenix, Arizona, man, if you ain't recording at Color Line Media, you're tripping.
Right.
Just period. You know what I mean? Just put that in your. You know what I mean?
Nice, man. So, like, what's on the horizon? You got the release party on the 16th. It's in Arizona.
Yeah.
Tell me the venue again. Tell our viewers where they can be.
So January 16th, Joe's Grotto, Phoenix, Arizona. That's 32nd Street and Thunderbird. Man, come check me out. It's gonna
Tell
be
them
something.
too how to hit you up on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and so forth.
Well, before any of the social medias, I have my own personal website.
There you go.
J1speed.com. It's J-ONESPEED.com. Then you can hit me up on Instagram. It's J_ONESPEED. What is it? Twitter is the same, and Facebook is J-ONE space SPED.
There you go. Do you mess with Twitter a lot?
No, I'm not really on Twitter too much. I really never was a fan of Twitter.
Me neither.
Never.
I always ask people because I want to know what the secret is. Can't get into it.
See, I didn't really like Instagram at first until I started playing with it, but now it's like I like Instagram.
Yeah,
Instagram is gravy, you feel me? Yeah. You know, and Facebook is, Facebook is Facebook,
Word. Right on,
man. Come check me out on my website, man. And we got
I like that. Go straight to the source.
Well, and we got all my material on there, and we have apparel on there. You got the MTG T-shirts all day for sale on the site.
Nice. So when you go about, actually selling the album, it's iTunes is one of the main.
Yeah, iTunes for sure. I believe I'm in about 20 other distributors.
Wow. Yeah. All right.
And
then other than that, just hand-to-hand
man,
sales,
come
right?
holla at me, man. Look, I'd rather you come to
stack.
the source, bro. Man, I got a whole another bag.
Uh-oh.
But you feel
Slippery.
me? Man, come to the source and get it, man, because I love 100% of, of all pros. I don't even want to share with the stores, bro. Like, I'm going to keep it 1,000, you know what I mean?
Exactly, right? Oh, for real? Man, I just learned something, y'all. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so... Jota, what's the guy?
Ere. Jota Ere Uno.
Ere is the hyphen?
Jota
Ere Uno. That's J1. For all our gringos out there. J1 speed. What would speed be? Velocidad?
Velocity or something like that.
Word. Okay, so we're back, guys. So our engineer back there, he had a question for you. Mario wants to know, what's up? What your analogy, your metaphor about being Anakin with no Padme? He wants an explanation.
Okay, boom. Right, that was a line. It was
that's
over the head a lot of people.
We like that.
All right, Trip. I say,
Star Wars
Ike
reference.
Turner, no anime, right? Anime Bullet. It was Tina Turner. So you're Ike Turner without anime.
Right.
So, that's nothing. He was really nothing without Tina Turner, right?
Okay.
I'm Anakin with no Padme. When he lost Padme, he became Darth Vader, who built the Death Star. You feel me?
Dude, okay,
I'm constructing my Death Star off this fifth of yak in these Doty jars.
Nice.
I'm pulling up banging Mozart. I'm out there. I mean, so far. I'm stiff arming these dumb on a golf course. It's a par 4.
Dude.
When it comes to money, I want more. I'm headed towards my big score. I take a plane ride out to Dubai and you can skydive off the top floor.
Dude. Yeah. See, that's what we call sunroof bars.
You know
Because it's
what I mean?
over your head.
Yeah, hey, I dig that. Hey, I appreciate y'all actually, acknowledging that.
No, that's dope though. I'm glad you broke that down. Cause like, okay, so like you're Ike Turner without anime. See, I didn't realize that Tina Turner's that was her real
Anime
name.
Bullard.
Anime
Bullard.
Bullard. So you're Ike Turner with no anime, which is basically nothing. Okay, but I'm Anakin with no Padme, and suddenly now I am like building Death Stars and like potentially ruling the galaxy using the power of the dark side.
It's just expressing and having ambition, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
for sure.
that big, though, you know what I mean?
I feel it. I like that. All right, man. Hey, we like lyrics. Okay, very good. All right, man. So, what was I gonna ask you about next? Let's see. Man, I'm still tripping off that though. I like the Dubai line, and you can skydive off the top floor and stuff. Like, have you been to Dubai?
Nah, that's where I want to go, man. That's one of them, like, one of those main spots on the map, bro. You know, I got to hit that one of these days, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean, you talk about ambition, and a lot of like your lyrics project to a lifestyle that maybe you haven't quite attained yet, but that's the goal.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Very good. All right, cool. Because I heard you talk about like foreign whips and stuff.
Yeah. It's all about, like, if I ain't did it, I'm doing it, or I'm aspiring to do it. You
Right.
feel me? Like it's
not
in the works.
It's not where you came from. It's where you're going.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
All right. Very good, dude.
Can't always dwell on the past. You always, you gotta
Move forward.
If you don't shoot for the stars, what you gonna hit?
Exactly. And then if you shoot for the stars and you fail, you still might reach
might
the
hit
moon,
the
or
moon,
something.
bro.
Right?
You might hit it. You feel me? I might not get to Dubai, but I might. Hey,
You might make it to,
it's all good. You feel me? Hey, there's plenty of other spots.
Bermuda.
It's like, man, come on, man. The possibilities are endless, especially once you cross the water. You know what I mean? Overseas money is where it's at. That's what.
Exactly.
That's what I'm trying to get.
And you already got connections in New Zealand and Australia and all that too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm working with a bunch of DJs out there. You know, they actually been showing me a lot of love, man. You know what I mean? They're real humble cats. You know what I mean? And they love music, man. You know what I mean? For real.
So how'd you get into music in the first place? Well, let's rewind.
I was actually, like, I grew up around music on the real, you know what I mean? Like, my dad, he used to spit when I was a child, you know what I mean? When I was growing up. He used to, like, sit in the living room. I was explaining this to a DJ one time. But, he used to sit, like, in the living room with his Casio and Yamaha keyboard, you feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And he would sit there with the old school tape deck, you know what I mean? And he was, like, stuff the tissue in it. He would, like, record over the old tapes, you feel me? But he would be making beats, you know what I mean, off the keyboard, you feel me? And then he would sit there and spit, right? You know what I mean? He was more of, like, a battle rapper, though, you know? So,
I love that, dude. Like, using what you have. It might be, by the standards of what you're working with now, it's like primitive, right?
Yeah.
But like when you make it work, like you value it so much more and you really learn from that, from that experience.
yeah.
The Casio keyboard, I mean, you could like record a little sample, you could say a word and then like, you'd be like J1.
Oh yeah, but I mean, I
out of
think
the
this
keyboard.
is like 1989, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You feel me? Like, so boom. So I mean, it was what it was. But he ended up like, teaching me by about like 5, 6. He started like teaching me because I learned how to write like about 4. But he started teaching me like how to form bars. You know what I mean? Like how to write lyrics. You know what I mean? But it was all about battle raps then. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It was all battle raps. But he taught me how to write bars. You feel me? And by about like 8, 9, you feel me? And I'd be able to write 16s. You know what I mean? And I started, writing my own little raps. And I would start going with it. Me and one of my brothers. My brother that's right above me. I got 3 older brothers.
So do you have a good foundation of like a battle experience of just being able to do stuff off the dome and just like?
I mean, really, like year to date, I'm more into writing. I like to form songs. You know what I mean? I want everything to have a lot of meaning to it. Like,
right.
I
Stuff
want
that you can't just come up
them
with.
sunroof bars.
Exactly. You gotta think about it.
You can't. Yeah, you can't do that. You know what I mean? Just,
right. That's
not
true.
all the time. I mean, you can come up with a little catchy,
Yeah, but for the most part, a freestyle is not that deep or whatever. You're kind of just reaching for something that rhymes.
It'll be catchy. It'll be cool, bro. But was it really mind-boggling?
Nah, yeah. Very good. I like that. So you construct them out, you compose your stuff, you be deep in the lab all late at night coming up with some mind-boggling content.
Straight up, man. Like I said, I'd be in my office, man. I'd be at my house, man. You know what I mean? I got my office at my house. I'll be sitting there and I get it in, you know. Like I sit there, I make beats in the office. I write all my, I form all. Man, stop writing in the studio. I form all my music before I go record, man. You feel me? It's ready to go. You feel me? All you gotta do is press record and mix and master it. G, you feel me?
Very good. So that brings me to this other question that was posed by one of our studio audience. She wanted to know, what is a guilty pleasure of yours musically? Something that, you know, might kind of surprise people. That's not necessarily hip hop, just something kind of off the path.
I don't have any guilty pleasures when it comes to music because if I like it, I genuinely just like it.
Yeah, see, I love that answer. That's the best answer. But could you give us an example?
An example? On my way down here, I was in the car, you know what I mean? We was riding down here and, you know, I was sitting there, I was singing out, I mean, I really don't even like the song like that, but it was just unexpected that I would actually be doing this, you know what I mean? But it was actually that Pitbull track that's out on the radio right now. And, you know, the reason why I was singing is because I thought that the hook was kind of stupid, you know, and it was that, I knew my rent was gonna be late about a week ago, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, yeah, I was like, wow.
Word, okay, all right.
Yeah.
So that's the confessional part of the show.
I mean, it's not really confessing because, like I said, it's not like I was embarrassed about it, but she was like, you know, she was like, wow, like for real, like you actually know the words, like you feel me? I'm like, yeah, like you feel me?
Yep, that's how it goes. You hear it a couple times and it's stuck forever. You said the only thing you weren't really feeling though was that I Love McConan club going up. Tuesday.
Yeah, man, that's kind of it's not for me. Let me just put it like that. It's just not for
I'm
me.
with you on that one, definitely. Oh man, don't even get me started. But man, that's excellent, man. So we got a little bit of time left in the show. Would like to get one more piece in if we could. What's the final track that we're gonna hear from you on the way out here?
Leaving, we gonna bump No Jokes, man.
No Jokes. I like that. I like that one.
No Joke. Go check out the video too. It's on YouTube.
Yeah, I like No Jokes because the title of it just kind of comes in as a quick stab. It's just like, you know, like
And
at the end of the hook.
Yeah, like
No jokes.
Yeah, you feel me? It's like the hook is like like people be like, I don't know where the hook is at. Then it comes to that
all of a
part.
sudden,
No jokes. Yeah, that's how you gonna know. But it's
Exactly. All right, man. Well, hey, thanks so much for coming through. This has really been a pleasure talking to you. And of course, you know, we look forward to Full Throttle 1, 2, 3, and 4, and everything else you're doing, man. So MTG, laying it down. J1 Speed,
MyDjsRadio.com.
Yes, indeed. All right, so that's it for the Spotlight Show tonight.